A jolt and then you'll die.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Exquisite back with a brand new video for you guys today. Today's video of Kingdom of Heroes, we're going to be going over Tower of Arrogance hard, 10th floor, 20th floor, 30th floor, 40th floor, and 50th floor. And this first floor is going to be Lucifer. Pretty easy. We're all using free-to-play units, so you free-to-play players can actually beat these 50th floors. I mean, all it is after that is just runes and a little bit of RNG, but not too much RNG because there are 4 stars and some are craftable. And with Lilith is probably the biggest 5-star that they gave for free. She was free for that one event, so I'm going to consider her as a free-to-play unit. But yeah, Lucifer is pretty easy. I used Lilith to pretty much turn cycle and to keep the action gauge down for Lucifer. Vulcan's there to put some dots on and a defense break, but defense break's really not needed. A tanky hero like Ingwe, pretty much everybody should have Ingwe. And he transfers the debuffs back, as well as Freya just for her speed lead and does dots, and with her HS also does her heal block as well. This is the first boss. Pretty easy, simple, not too hard. Usually if you're mid game, you should be able to pretty much wipe it out just with the DPS units. For this one, it's going to be the Saya floor with Lilith. What's his name? I don't remember the 2 waters. Gregory, maybe? I don't really remember. But anyways, the Saya floor. Or I saw this one guy in chat say it was the fire girl with dual wielding guns. Couldn't really explain her name, but pretty much I moved all my characters back. As you can see, I used Vulcan again and Amon this time because you wanted to push units. Locke is here because she is free to play. As long as you're in a guild, you can get her just with pieces every week. So what I did was I wanted to try to stun. I didn't get the stuns. On my pre-recording before this, I got the stuns just so I could see if this team actually works, and didn't record that, but we got it to work anyways. So I messed up with my Merlin right here, so I had to protect her with the Freya. And Merlin was pretty much supposed to kill Gregory. I'm pretty sure that's Gregory. Gregory and Lilith for the last 2 mobs, so I could start working on the boss. Try to get that speed debuff on him. Didn't work. Right here, let's not mess it up this time. And we got it. Killed them. Got her invincibility off right there. I should have actually used Freya's first skill to get the mobility buff, just so I could move the units faster into play whenever it was their turn, because Vulcan was way back there. Right now, just stalling to see whenever I could set up and get into the right positions with everybody. Right here, I moved Locke to try to push her back, and I was like, no, never mind, because she's just gonna get a move after Freya. So she does her turn, doesn't kill Locke, which is really good. I mean, she could have killed Locke. Does move Amon, Merlin in the spot just because her AoE is in physical range. It's not a range attack, so let's heal up Locke right here and try to move. I was waiting for the Vulcan to get a turn either right after Locke, just so I can move Locke and then put Vulcan in his spot. Or I could, if Vulcan was close enough, I can move Locke, use her S3 on Vulcan, and then move him into place. But right here, I'm just stalling, trying to figure out who goes next, where I should move. So I ended up putting her there, or Vulcan there, but I realized that I didn't have her S3 up to give action opportunity. And so she ended up moving. See, Merlin takes quite a bit chunk out of Saya right here. So right here, this is what I was talking about. I was trying to get Vulcan into the right spot. Finally got him into the right spot so I could start doing some damage and put dots on her. And I saw that Freya was moving twice this turn, so I moved her to do some dot damage, and then I'll move her away from Saya attacking after that. Vulcan, try to defense break, no defense break. And just pretty much turn cycling. Are you guys excited about the new update that's coming in February as well as the March update? Let me know if you are down in the comments and what you're expecting from the Labyrinth mode that they have released and said they were going to do in March dev notes. And what you guys think about the new water unit and the new water or dark vampire unit. I'm really looking forward to the dark vampire unit because of she's just waifu. Like I said in my dev notes video for number 6, that she just looks amazing. I want to know how her like character design is going to be in game, like her 3D chibi model, and she just looks amazing. And hopefully she does really decent damage based off of her losing health. And hopefully it's not single target. I'm hoping it is actually like an AoE kind of, just so you can do more with her. She'd probably be really good in arena defense. But let's get on to the next floor of Tower Arrogance Hard. This is going to be the 30th floor. I think his name is Siegfried, I'm thinking. Oh, I can't remember a lot of these like 3 stars, because he is a 3-star, I believe. Maybe a 4-star. I believe he's a 3-star though. No, he might be a 4-star. But pretty much same, almost same team. I used ECAT in this one. And Lucifer. Vulcan's still the same because he's a really good water, or not water. He's a good fire, continuous damage, and defense break unit. So I got the defense break there. I did the continuous damage. Lilith here to turn cycle and to get his action gauge reduction down. And Lucifer is good for his glancing hit, so it doesn't hit as hard as on ECAT, as well as his continuous damage and slow debuff on his first skill. He also is good at pushing, but I don't really need him for a pushing. I just used him because sometimes when you use his second skill on like a boss, if you don't have good accuracy, it will most likely always land that continuous damage, just because it's not going to be landing that stun. So more than often it lands that continuous damage as a guaranteed, because sometimes his first skill just lands that speed debuff, or sometimes both continuous damage and speed debuff. But this boss is pretty easy. I just used ECAP because of her passive, where she doesn't take over, I think hers is 35% of her health. And pretty easy here. Again, it's all free to play. Lucifer, I'm pretty sure you could build for. And Vulcan is just a 4-star, easier to get than 5 stars. Lilith is free to play because of that one event. And Freya obviously is free to play because you get her and a lot of pieces for her. So you could almost max, I'm pretty sure you can max skill her right away. But here we are. That's the end of the battle right here. Boom, 7,500 continuous damage. Next one is going to be Verdandi. We're using Freya, Lucifer, Charlotte, Amon, and what's her name? Click on her. Yeah, Thea. I thought it was Thea. I don't use Thea like ever anymore. Ever since I got Nocturne. She takes too long to ramp up. If you could find units that, like their S1s, do continuous damage, they're going to be doing more damage over time than Thea would be, because she has to ramp up. She has to get her continuous damage stacks. Then she has to S2 to put all that continuous damage stacks onto the enemy. It's just a lot, but I use her just because she's free to play for you guys that need like a free to play guide, as well as she can be combined and made. Lucifer here, same continuous damage, speed debuff, glancing hit, because Amon takes a lot of damage. And luckily I had good regen runes. 3 regen runes on Amon and ECAT are pretty much the best tanks for bosses in the game. You can't go wrong. They're just going to heal right up. Sometimes you don't need all the heals like another healer. You could just drop another DPS unit or support DPS, which is the continuous damage dealers that I have. Charlotte's here for sometimes she's good at it. I don't have her skilled up, so she takes long for her S3 to take away the debuffs and give the debuff immunity, or buff immunity, or block debuffs. That's what it's called in this game. But I don't have her skilled up, so she doesn't like cycle really well and takes off the buff. So I have to just deal with the shield, the speed, and the defense. Not really too much. Not really bad at all, but it worked out. And she also does her action gauge reduction, as well as speed debuff and defense break. So she's actually really good. As you can see there, Thea, you have always that chance of just not sending the dots that you have on Thea over. I think Thea on regen would actually be pretty good, just because she would be able to... she already has passive healing on her, but she would be able to heal back what she lost already, and not have to worry about her health, about how many dots. Because I think the max dots before 1 runs out is you could have 4, maybe 5. I think you can have 5 dots on her. You just have to cycle it right. But her on regen, you wouldn't get that whole 5 dots of continuous damage. You would just heal back up, I think 45% if you had full regen on her. You would just heal it all back up, and it wouldn't have to matter. But that's the Verdandi boss. That's the 30th floor. No, that was the 40th floor. Alright, and then the last floor is going to be 50 for this free-to-play Tower of Arrogance. It's just to get you guys up to that 50th floor, so you guys could get that. I think it was a divine L&D scroll that you get, just so the newer players and those that haven't got up there can get up there and get these in. Usually they cycle the same bosses about every often, and with all these guys you should be able to just scroll through all my videos and be able to get these bosses done. So I used on this floor ECAT and Amon as the tanks for the front, just because they could tank the damage, and Amon's there to keep Ifrit there, since Lilith is blocked, or not Lilith, since Freya is blocked off. So they're there to tank, as well as they both have regen full sets on them. And Valkyrie is just really good daughter. Freya for the speed, immunity, or invincibility, and dots on her. And then Elaine is actually really good here, just because her S1 is a continuous damage 2 turns, and she does a passive speed break, or speed debuff on the boss. Since there's only 1 unit and that's going to be the only enemy on the field, she's going to always give that boss the speed debuff. But yeah, it's pretty... I did this boss plenty of times. I think this is probably my 3rd time doing this boss as a video. Pretty easy. The reflect, it doesn't really matter for the bosses as much, because usually on bosses you're either doing continuous damage, or you're doing those skills that are what are they, or if the enemy has higher HP, you do more damage. But so pretty easy. But that's gonna be it. That's it for boss. That's all 50 floors for you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the next update that's coming and the new content that's coming. But I'll see you guys next time. See ya.